Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Three Twisted Sisters, episode 3, and we are discussing conspiracy theories.
Ooh.
Yes, so do all of us believe in at least one conspiracy theory?
Yeah. I don't believe in it, but I know about it.
Oh, we're getting to yours, Alex.
Yeah.
So today we're going to go over a brief history of conspiracy theories, mainly what makes a conspiracy theory that can be so outlandish stick with someone? What kind of psychological traits, if any, cause them to stick? And we're going to also discuss, each of us are going to discuss our favorite conspiracy theory. So,
So, the history on conspiracy theories. You have that? I don't have the history. I have a study. Oh, let's hear it.
that works.
Well, this was a study done back in 2018, and it's that not everyone necessarily is like open to conspiracy theories. Like some people are like, that's outlandish, and some people are like, like that's for real. Like, no, I die hard believe in this conspiracy, right? And they found that certain cognitive styles and personality traits have like a common link between believing in conspiracy theories and then not believing in them. And then so there was the study, and it said some of the personality traits was paranoid, having like severe paranoia. I can't say that word. Paranoia. So having a severe paranoia or suspicious thinking, eccentricity. Oh my god, I can't speak right now.
Eccentricity?
Eccentricity.
The worst person to hand it off to try to pronounce something.
And then a strong need to feel special.
Okay.
The world's a dangerous place, and seeing patterns where none exist. And the strongest one.
I take that full
offensively, because fucking patterns exist, bitch.
Where none should.
And the kind of like more one that stands out the most is it's called schizotypy.
Schizotypy?
Schizotypy.
And it is a set of personality trait that can range from magical thinking to dissociative states to disorganized thinking patterns.
I don't know. Sounds like big man's trying to hold us down. Trying to just say that if you believe in conspiracy theories or magical whatever, that you're crazy.
Right.
Because like, here we go. Schizotypy. It's like the pre-thinking that leads to schizophrenia, which I find to be bullshit, because schizophrenia, that's not how you get it. So I feel like they're just sprinkling around, like someone who's like younger who heard a conspiracy theory is gonna do some Google research, and then they pull up, oh, if you believe in conspiracy theories, you're crazy. Nobody else thinks like you do. When in fact, we might. Now, we're not saying everything is a conspiracy theory, but we believe in some conspiracy theories, and we hear about a lot of them. Even we don't believe in. So some conspiracy theories are legit, in my opinion, and some have come true.
Yes.
Yeah. Like, Brittany, I think you have one that actually came true.
Yes.
Which is horrifying. I don't know if you want to start with that, or you want one of us to start.
Sure. I wanted to do really quickly a rapid fire of just like some of the top conspiracy theories, especially the last couple of years. And we'll say, yay or nay to what we believe in, or what we could think that there could be some truth.
One of the biggest ones and most recent, I think, is COVID was fake. like, oh, it didn't really happen. Like people are going to the hospital and they're just like, they don't have COVID. But I don't know.
That is a big conspiracy theory right now. Like the government is trying to kill people off so they give them COVID, or it was made in a lab, which that might be possible.
No, I heard that people believed it wasn't like real, like that they were just
Yeah.
to be home and like there was no actual virus.
Oh,
Which
yeah.
makes me crazy because I'm like, we all did get sick. What about JFK assassination? Have you guys heard?
Yeah, I've heard different things about it. I mean, it's if you go down the rabbit hole of celebrities or big name people that have been assassinated or have died, but they're not actually dead, like Elvis, Michael Jackson, certain people like that, it makes you start questioning everything. Because there's people that excuse me, have like pictures of someone who looks like JFK, and then they do that age filter to see what he would look like now, and it looks like him, and he's in the same kind of area, and the person he's with looks like his whatever. It's like, ooh, you go down.
It is weird for JFK. I don't think that he's alive walking around just because the entire world saw, what happened to him. I saw this one JFK conspiracy theory that was like one of the Secret Servicemen accidentally shot him. And then it became this whole thing. So JFK is one that has so much notoriety and so many different crazy theories. We could honestly just dedicate an episode to that. But yeah, JFK is crazy. What about like Atlantis?
I believe in Atlantis. There was another person I was thinking of that has been coming up a lot. Hitler. That he didn't die, that he escaped, that he went to like somewhere in South America.
But would he still be alive now?
No,
I don't think so.
but that people recall seeing, because a lot of German Nazis escaped to that particular country after the war ended. They fled there. That was like their plan, and that was supposed to be his plan too. So there's a lot of people in that area that they moved to that recall and know, oh yeah, these German people came in. And then some looked like him, but he had a shaved mustache, a bald head, like certain things. But it's just like you don't want to believe that stuff.
Yeah.
I'd like to believe that when you're gone,
he's then gone. Mm-hmm. What about like Area 51?
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's like none that were like, no way.
Yeah. And then shoot, I had a good one. Crap, I forgot. Oh, like the moon landing. I think it was real. I think it was real. I think it was. Call me crazy. But I think it was real. Yeah,
I think we absolutely definitely made it there. I don't necessarily think if the first time was or was not in a studio.
Yeah,
it's a weird one for me.
I think I'm with Britt. Like I think that it's absolutely happened, but not the way that they staged it to the US or the world.
Because it was the race to space. So many countries were so many countries were like racing to get to space, and it was the race to space.
And like piggyback off that, like there's all these conspiracy theories about the pyramids being built by aliens.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like
for sure.
Like it throws off like everything that you've been taught when you start thinking like, okay, the government is finally saying like, yeah, there are UFOs. We don't know what they are. Here's like a little bloop, bloop, bloop that you can just kind of check out. Different videos that have surfaced throughout the years, but now they're gaining a little bit more recognition, although not as much as I would expect them to. I feel like it's odd. Yeah. So, and the thing that I find interesting is that different cultures around the world, different times, have noted or drawn different like hieroglyphics or paintings of aliens. That's what I think is weird.
Yeah.
Also like vampires and werewolves, so many different cultures that have never seen each other until, hundreds and hundreds and thousands of years later, all have sightings of unpredictable things. And it's
Yeah,
like,
for
oh,
sure.
as humans, we've always been very imaginative or something like that. To depict them in the same exact way is interesting to me. That's where it's like,
Yeah.
oh, it could be. I say like a maybe. Now, if like any of the people that did build them are like in heaven watching us, like, you son of a bitch, like all that hard work and the fingernail,
Right.
I apologize. So that's why it's like a maybe. Who
I
knows?
like vampires and werewolves.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe that's my schizotypy coming out.
Right. We might be unwell, but it's a good
But
time.
I think it's all, you don't know. You don't know.
What about T-Rexes were actually dragons?
Yeah, I fully believe that. It begs the question. We're all dying to know.
I mean,
What's the truth?
It would make sense.
Mhm.
But dragons weren't they also in the
Yeah, but look,
medieval times?
we still have like crocodiles and alligators.
But if T-Rexes were dragons, wouldn't they have not been extinct? Like, wouldn't there be proof that it wasn't extinct?
That's
at
what I'm
that
saying. Like
time?
some dinosaurs didn't fully go extinct. So you could beg the question. Plus, there's again a lot of like writings or explanations of dragons during medieval times, but there's no proof. So it's not like they were like, oh my gosh, we're dragon hunting today. Those are supposed to be like
Yeah.
type of thing. So it's interesting. It's interesting.
Yes.
But we've all also picked a conspiracy theory that we wanted to touch base on a little more in depth. Who wants to go first?
I can go first. Let me just rearrange my notes real quickly. I have it on the laptop, kind of weird. Alrighty.
Hey, gonna drop it all.
So mine is a conspiracy theory that unfortunately is true. And it is about our United States government. How beautiful this nation is and how secreted and fucked up it is too. Okay, so let's see. 1955 is when this project was formed. Let's see. So, the United States government project that began in the mid 1950s. I've seen it cited in a couple places, 1955, so I'm going to go ahead and go with that. This particular source that I'm using is mysteriousuniverse.org, and it is the tale of body snatching. So, let me dial it back. 1955. The United States was wanting to have it was a classified top secret project to study and view the results of a nuclear weapon and what like the aftermath, the effect that it has on the human body. So I know I mentioned body snatching, and that is a big deal because the leader of this particular project was Dr. Willard Libby, and he was commissioned by the United States government to be provided human samples, quote unquote. And they were, let me see. They were essentially body snatching, which meant, here, let me back up. Quote unquote human samples. So what this meant is that the United States government was purchasing and being shipped stillborn babies and young children of people overseas. And it was all over Europe, Australia mainly, those countries. Um, the US government was buying bodies of stillborns, of young children, and having them shipped to the country for them to do extensive testing on. Now, what makes this conspiracy theory even more horrific is the seriousness of this case. So there was a woman, um, this particular reference doesn't have her name, but this woman who had lived in the United Kingdom had given birth to a stillborn baby. Now, her baby, when she was given it back from like the nursery or something, to say goodbye to it and to have it for dressed up for her funeral memorial kind of thing. The hospital staff refused to let her change her clothes. And at the time, it was really important, and especially important to the parents, that she be dressed in a christening gown for her funeral. And the hospital denied. Turned out when she went to examine her baby's corpse, she realized that the hospital had severed one of her baby's legs. Come to find out, fast forward, so her stillborn child has been disfigured at this point. Fast forward of her, the outcry from this mother, not even given permission, not told a single thing about this horrific thing that will happen to her child. It was covered up and quieted and just disbelieved for until this came out in the 90s. So things like that, if you can even imagine, there were stories of families who would have the funeral, bury the child, but the night when they're going to like completely cover the body, their body's been snatched from their grave, empty coffins, things like that. And there's a wide range of records online, and they, unfortunately, the human samples, quote unquote, had all sorts of age ranges. And it also says potential variations among what kind of body parts. So if it's not the whole body, they would take pieces of it. And it's just so disgusting and horrific. But it says many of the Project Sunshine, which is called Project fucking Sunshine, like go fuck yourself. The files are missing or suspected of being destroyed decades ago, but we do know is shocking enough on its own. That's the last. Nick Redford is the author. That's the last line of his article, which is so fucking true. It makes me sick. Like on one hand, I understand, like we want to know these lasting effects because World War II had happened, Hiroshima was going on, so they want to know what the effects are. But to do it in such a way and to import like stillborn and children body parts into the United States to do that kind of thing, it makes me sick.
Yeah, that is horrendous. Like, oh my gosh. And then there's people that there's probably people that didn't even know that their babies were missing.
Oh, for sure.
You know? Like how many you'll never know how many children actually were taken. And now that they've destroyed files, that's horrible.
So did they only do it to like stillborns, or did they like also kidnap?
So they did it strictly to dead bodies. So if there was a stillborn, they wouldn't take like kidnap or anything like that we know of. They wouldn't do it with live people. They would do it with the deceased. And it seems like it was
adults too, or just stillborn babies, or like young children.
The biggest thing is stillborns and young children.
I wonder why.
I know.
Not that I don't want any other body age groups to be snatched, but that's weird. Because if you're, excuse me, trying to figure out the lasting effects, wouldn't you want different age groups? Yeah, that is positively horrific. I mean, just
Yes.
to know that that it came out, and like you said, you don't know. Like they could have been kidnapping. You don't know. Files
Yep.
were released, and they don't release everything. You know, that's blah.
Yeah, that's
It was with the Department of Energy related scandals involving the use of human beings in radiation tests from the 1940s to the 1970s. But the Project Sunshine files were released in the 90s, showing a lot more of the details of the 1955 importation of stillborn children.
Now, this is different than what I'm going to say for my conspiracy theory, but the Erin Brockovich, so she was like in California, and the water was all screwed up from P&G. So is that like a, because are they considered? No, that's PG&E. That's energy, huh? P&G is like the toothpaste and stuff.
PG's like all household items.
Because they were like dumping their stuff in the water supply and like sickening all those people. That's another one. And then like what's going on in Flint? I mean, there's so many things that people don't really know what's going on or what happened.
Yeah.
That's cool. It's crazy.
It's wild. That one, it's definitely, it's not it's not my favorite conspiracy theory by any means. It was just one that was definitely interesting, that made me sick to my stomach to know that it is true. Usually if I see like a body snatching situation, I'm like, yeah, aliens or something like that. But knowing that it was our own government and it was over babies,
Yeah.
baby bodies, it's kind of scary.
You have to think like, yeah, it was the US government, but the other countries' governments had to be involved too.
Oh, for sure. They all wanted to know.
Sneaky spy in to snatch the
Yeah.
baby from the hospital. It goes so many levels.
And there's a huge debate about it too. Like, is this wrong or is this good for scientific development?
Like testing things, fine. Get fucking consent. Like,
Yeah.
if I'm an organ donor, so when I die, like donate all my fucking organs and then cremate the rest of it. I want to like let myself live on, but that's me giving consent. Don't break into my house and cut my kidney out. You know what I mean? Like there's a fine line between if this is right or wrong. This is clearly wrong. There's nothing right about it. If you want a program to get started and then it's like, oh well, the mass public would freak out. We would have panic. Yeah, but there's still a handful of people. I mean, there's people today that don't give a crap about their kids or themselves. So that's a whole sure. But you need consent. You can't just steal whether they're alive or dead. I mean, my personal opinion.
No, for sure. I get it too. It all just puts a bad taste in my mouth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Makes you really just sick. I'm glad you started with that one. Because mine's gonna be fun.
Yes, let's go to the fun one.
The fun one. Well, I mean, Alex's may be fun as well. But
Alex's is fun.
But yes, the fun conspiracy that I have chosen for today that I wholeheartedly agree in 100%, hands down, it has to be the Megalodon is still alive. It's not extinct.
For sure.
100%. I believe it wholeheartedly. That is one that I will go, you believe whatever you want, but I believe it still exists. So the Megalodon, it was a real creature. Scientists believe that it is extinct because we haven't seen one, but we also haven't discovered hardly any of the ocean. So especially the depth that it would be, they haven't discovered into those areas yet, not extensively. So what?
Nothing.
Yeah,
The depth.
The depth.
the depth.
The deepest, darkest depth.
Yeah, they haven't discovered all of it. So how can you say for certain that it's not extinct? So the Megalodon, this ginormous shark, this ginormous creature, they have jaws of that. I mean, I'm sure all over the place, but I know specifically Brittany and I have been to a museum in Florida that had them. Like humongous jaws. I mean, like
10 feet,
four, 3 or 4
feet,
of us. Yeah,
That's
like
crazy.
they're massive. Like
15.
like, look at that.
That's humongous.
That's like goodbye. You're dead.
Yeah.
You're not coming back.
You're gone. You're swallowed whole, man.
What if,
Yeah.
like, have you seen
What?
No.
Finding Nemo? You know how like the whale, like,
Uh-huh.
what if you're not like automatically dead? Like, what if you're just chilling in their mouth, like how they were?
Well, that's like a biblical story.
Yeah.
Who got swallowed by the whale? He like I don't remember who it was, Jonah or I don't know. Oh, God, it sounds horrible.
Jonah.
He disobeyed. He was given a task by God, disobeyed it, so then the ship wrecked and he was swallowed by a whale, but he didn't die. He lived inside the whale for like a few weeks until he realized, like, I'm sorry, God, I'm gonna
How
do
did he
the
have
duty.
air?
Don't ask me, ask God.
Ask Pinocchio. He did it too.
But yeah. Oh, I've blocked Pinocchio for life.
I
That
know.
movie traumatized me. I'm good. But anyways, the Megalodon. So those of you who might not know or don't, whatever, the Megalodon lived or went extinct approximately 3.5 million years ago. So it was a dinosaur. It's a prehistoric shark, and it's considered extinct because no one has seen one in all the years that we've been researching the ocean. Now, there's weird instances like the whale that had a bite bitten out of it, a huge bite. Now they're like, well, it could have been this, it could have been that, whatever it is. It is just odd. Or you'll see other sharks, not even just a giant whale. It might have been a shark. I'm totally confused right now. But funky things that you notice and you're like, what the heck is that? Plus, other cultures, I feel like I'm always talking about other cultures around the world, but other cultures for thousands of years have noted ginormous creatures in the ocean. And
Ginormous specifically.
yeah, and no one has been able to debunk it other than they haven't seen it, so they don't believe in it. And it makes it like folklore. But knowing that these creatures existed at one time, and there's been other animals that have lived on land that have been considered extinct, and then they found more of them, and now they're no longer extinct. They're on the registry still to becoming extinct, but they're not extinct anymore because they're still around. And that's like, well, that could happen with anything. And there's a TikToker on TikTok. I think he's like Sharky Wahlberg or something like that. I've totally butchered his name. I'll correct it in like the little description. But he is like on a hunt for megalodons, and he's got this shark tracker app that tracks sharks and one turtle. It's very odd how like some of these sharks are, because it like beeps a track every time they come above surface, every time they breach the surface. And so there will be certain sharks that only breach near the shore, and then all of a sudden out of nowhere, and it's like specific to the coastal Florida area where like the Bermuda Triangle is. So they'll breach the surface near the shore. Yeah, and then all of a sudden, like a couple hours later, they'll breach into that like Bermuda Triangle area, the deep blue section, and then they never breach again. Or it's odd how it'll breach in one area in the deep dark section, and then like minutes later breach at another area so far away. And some people that are like arguing with him in the comments are like, oh, the tracker's malfunction, oh, the track is inaccurate, oh, this, oh, that, oh, that. And it's like, well, that's just odd. It's just odd. I don't know.
Yeah.
Showing it go from the shore to the middle of the ocean in record time, that should be enough to say, okay, that shark got eaten by something, and now that something has its tracker.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
And it's moving quick.
Yeah, it's very odd. We don't know. And I think it's irresponsible to say for sure one way or another. I mean, maybe it's irresponsible for me to say for sure the Megalodon is still alive today, but that's what I believe. But I think it's irresponsible to say that there's no possibility that they're 100% extinct. There is no possibility, because I just don't agree with that. You don't know.
What was the connection with NASA and the race for space?
Okay, so this was another thing that I saw like on Facebook or TikTok, so you know it's very legitimate.
Right.
It's that NASA used to be the department that was researching the ocean. So it used to be all about oceanic research. And then suddenly they stopped and they became researching about space. And then that was when the race for space happened. So it could be that they stopped investigating the ocean and switched to the space because they knew it was going to start becoming something. But a lot of people are like, why all of a sudden desire that all these countries at the same time are like, we have to get the fuck off this planet?
That reminds me of Tomorrow War.
Yeah.
How like the aliens are like hibernating underwater or some shit like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And maybe like that's what they saw.
We gotta get the fuck out of this planet quick. So
I don't want to leave.
there's a lot of weird stuff going on. Lots of weird, funky conspiracy stuff that goes along with that. But safely, I do believe that the Megalodon is real.
Of course.
There's no stopping me. You can tell me all day long it's extinct. I'll go, okay.
Yeah.
I don't believe it, but okay. Alexandra.
Here we go.
It is her turn.
Buckle up.
And the
Buckle
reason
up for
why
safety.
I'm just going to preface hers with, we have had lots of talks about this. That's why we all know what hers is.
Yep.
And
well, I'm not saying I believe in this. I just need to talk about it because it's like such a known conspiracy theory and talked about so many times over and over again. I am not labeled one of these people. Flat earther. But I think
loud for the crowd.
You, say it with your chest.
I'm not a flat earther.
I think the fact that you give any kind of insight into it at all, that
it's just intriguing. Like it's kind of cool. Like that people think that. Like, does that not blow your mind?
It blows my mind that people think that. It also blows
my mind that people think that is even a possibility.
Yeah, because then for me specifically, it leads to a whole list of questions of like, I don't trust anything anyone believes, and I can't go down that road because the schizopath, what is it?
Type B.
Schizotypy in me, if you will, cannot handle all that. You have to explain to the world.
I have 5 viewers.
Explain to your sister and your listener what exactly this is.
What about it? Because a lot of people are like, oh, okay, if you believe in the flat earth, then we're all going to fall off the side. That's what it used to be. When flat earthers, I don't know if it first came about, but when I first heard about them, like maybe like 15 years ago, that was the thing, was like, you're going to fall off the edge of the earth, which a lot of people believed before Vikings started exploring.
Yeah.
Was that if you went to the edge, you would fall off. But it was proved wrong. So let's see. Let's hear it.
Mm-hmm.
Give me a second.
Okay. I would like to stop and quickly say, water. Water is important. Sorry, there's so much jangle.
Hydration station.
Yeah. Water, H2O. Dehydration, no.
Little spell work.
Here's another, I don't know if it's considered a conspiracy theory or just some bullshit, but I saw a TikTok, again, all my information's from TikTok, that said if you pinch the skin in the middle of your knuckle and you pinch it like that, if it goes down right away, then you're hydrated. And if it stays up, then you're dehydrated. Like the elasticity.
I need to go fill up my water cup.
Earlier I took a sip and there was no water, so I had to pretend like there was.
Oh,
There's still water in here.
No. Flat Earth. It is circular.
okay.
It's flat and it's Earth. And here it is. Obviously, like to a smaller scale, but this would be like this little burnt spot.
This is a candle lid, by the way, if you didn't know.
The way that this is reflecting off of it, like this candle lid, like there's like a little, like in the center would essentially be like the North Pole, and then all the perimeter would be Antarctica, and then the layout of the rest of the continents would just be like in that realm, that circle.
So I have questions.
I don't have answers.
So are all the planets in space like little pizzas?
I don't know.
What about the moon?
Yeah.
Is the moon a flat little thing?
It could be.
See, why? Like, why would it be perfectly flattened like that? And then, like, when the tectonic plates broke and the continent shifted, what?
I mean, they could have shifted and like, because there's still water. Like, there's not water.
So what's on the bottom side though?
It's like rock. Like, you know, think about like a pizza crust. It's not like just some
Kind of like
cheese.
like a gemstone or something. But no, then that would make it round still.
Or what?
Like, if you find, I get what you're meaning. Like, when you crack open a stone to find like a crystal, like, rock on the bottom and like crystal on top. Yeah, there's just like, you can't leave from, I get what you're saying, but like you're wrong.
No, and then to top it off, Antarctica has like these ice walls. So like that's helping keep the water in. Because what if we're just like a science experiment? That's why we're
like in a petri dish.
Yeah. But like you cannot visit Antarctica without it being signed off. Like you have to like ask for permission to go there.
Who do you ask permission from?
I don't know, there's an Antarctic treaty.
I didn't know that. When did that come into place?
I do not know that. Oh, as of 2020.
What? 2 years ago?
I think so. No, wait.
Interesting.
The Antarctic Treaty is 1959.
Oh, the 50s. What a shitty time to be alive. That is crazy.
I think there's more likely to be like animals or dinosaurs that could melt and come back to Earth.
From where? From Antarctica.
So do you think that
yeah.
like, if it didn't have the treaty, if people could go to Antarctica, then they would like fall off?
I don't know. I think if we were allowed to go, then it wouldn't be flat.
Why would they?
But like, for instance, the Coast Guard has a base.
Like a science treaty. Like, what if it's like a science experiment, and that's why they don't let you go there?
Are Antarctica and the North Pole the same thing?
No, they're different.
No, one's here and one's here.
Okay.
One's here and one's here.
What I still don't get, and what I still will never get, is the orbiting.
Because it could be like
then it would,
but it would always be sunny. No, like if this is the sun, we go around the sun.
Because it could be like we're on the outskirts, so it's rotating.
We go around the sun. So if this is the sun, there's always got to be light around, right? Because it's all a light ball.
No, it's not a ball. It's a flat little pizza. I just don't get it. It doesn't like in like a fable-y kind of way, I can understand, but there's too much like
Like every
wow,
asteroid that falls into our atmosphere is
a
it's
sphere shape.
It's not always a sphere shape. Sometimes it's like a irregular shape.
well, yeah, I mean even Earth itself is not a perfect circle.
Yeah.
It's an asteroid. So it's like funkified, but what makes it look completely circular is the water held in by the gravity.
But then why does the sun look like
What it
a
really
circle?
Yeah, why does the sun look like a circle and the moon like a perfect circle every night? Well, not
We're
every
the only planet with water, according to, except Mars has a little bit.
like that's what it looks like without the water showing, and then with the water showing it's circular. Now we are the closest, like our planet is the closest thing to a perfect circle that's found in space, but it is not it's still an asteroid. So that's where I'm like, you're wrong, flat earthers.
Well, then why does the moon look like a perfect circle when it's a full moon? And we've never seen the backside of it.
They have in space. Apollo 13 went to the dark side of the moon.
Did they really?
Yeah, they had to go around the whole moon.
Nobody had ever done it before, of course.
Yeah, I don't know. Again, I'm not going to say for sure because we don't know anything for sure.
Right.
But I think that's weird.
Why?
I think it's weird. Flat earthers, I think you're weird. But you can think I'm weird for believing in the Megalodon. You're wrong, but you can think it.
Exactly.
That's crazy. I don't know. That one takes the cake for me. I don't know.
As being the most off the wall.
I mean, it's not the most off the wall, but it is off the wall. And like the way that they so heavily believe it, like on their Facebook pages, the flat earther pages, they're crazy.
Yes.
I guess a lot of people that are diehard into their conspiracy theories are all pretty crazy. It's all weird. This fun little podcast has just reminded us all that we don't know anything. We only know what we're allowed to know. And maybe in 50 years or 40, because I guess the sunshine thing went on for like 40 years. Maybe in 40 years we'll know a little more.
Yeah.
I think it's just interesting how for so long the government denied UFOs and aliens and the sightings, and they made everyone who experienced one or saw one was a complete quack, kookadoo
Yes.
in the kachoo. But now they're like, oh,
Actually,
yeah.
actually.
We don't know what they are, so yeah, they are UFOs. Like, really? And how many years have they been saying that you're cuckoo kachoo if you believe in it?
So many times.
So we're in the midst of an unraveling of a conspiracy theory as we speak. That's true. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very interesting. I don't know. We'll see. And I think that it's wise to have a small amount of what was it? What was the word? Psychotopy.
Oh, schizotypy.
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 Actually, we'll know how to say that word. Probably not. But you know what we're talking about now that you've heard it from us. But I think it's good to have a healthy amount of that in you, because a lot of conspiracy theories have, not a lot, but some conspiracy theories have come to light as being real. So who knows?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
And all conspiracy theories have that possible truth. Those little driplets of truth in them, or could be truth or whatever. That's what makes them believable. So, I don't know. It's very odd. I say live every day to its fullest and love the people that are in your life, because you never know when you're gonna become
You never know.
you never know when you'll be a conspiracy theory or something.
You never know when you're gonna fall off the earth because it's flat.
You never know when you're eaten by a megalodon in the Bermuda Triangle. Especially
Bitten.
for
You will not be
Florida.
bitten. You will be swallowed.
Yeah.
To cut out like with a sword.
Yeah. Oh, scary stuff. So we would love to hear your guys' conspiracy theories, ones you do and don't believe in. Definitely let us know what you think is real. Let us know if you think we are crazy.
Yes.
We
Let us know.
meaning Alex.
I'm not. I don't believe in it.
Yeah, but you are
You do to
enough
a
where you believe in it a
No,
little
I
bit.
don't.
Yes.
It's like if it were to be flat, this would make sense.
What would make sense though?
It'd
What
be
would be
like this, like a circular.
You
like,
gotta put it like this because that's how it makes sense to
Well,
her.
yeah,
is that
I'm just
these are like
showing.
the icebergs of Antarctica. So basically, we were even talking about this the other day. Oh, this is giving me like good lighting. We were talking about it yesterday or a couple days ago, where I was like, if you took a globe, like we believe is what it is, and you were to flatten it, like everything would be displaced differently than what explorers and planes have seen. And that's why I was like, it can't be that because like if that's the the theory that it's like this is basically taking a globe and squishing it and saying this is the North Pole, this is everything, this is Antarctica.
But then what's on the other side of the ice walls? What if we are a sphere, but where Earth is so gigantic, on the other side of the ice walls is like Middle Earth or some shit?
Ooh. See? We don't know. We have to
A
go ahead and
mystical
ask
land.
for permission to get to Antarctica and find out.
I'm on dragons. I'm like a mystical land with dragons.
Yeah.
Anyway, we would love to hear from you guys. Any of your favorite conspiracy theories, definitely send us an email. We will go ahead and put the link in our show notes. You can find our social media. We are on TikTok.
On TikTok as @_3 Twisted Sisters, all one word. That
Yes.
is our TikTok. Again, look at the show notes and find other ways to follow or contact us. We want to hear what you guys think, and we'll
Yes.
definitely talk about some of the messages you guys send us in our other podcasts.
Maybe.
Absolutely. If you guys have any exciting
one of them.
If you guys have any exciting topics that we should discuss, definitely send those in and we can do our research and provide episodes for you guys. Other than that, take care and be safe.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.